Aloha, my name is Caitlin Tress, and I'm a district resource teacher for the autism team for the Maui Complex area. Today, we will investigate and identify cultural trends in education in the state of Hawaii. Today, we will look at 5 cultural trends in education in the state of Hawaii. The 5 trends are trauma-assumed and informed practices, social-emotional learning, virtual learning, inclusive education, and Hawaiian language in schools. Some of these trends may be similar to the trends seen in mainland school. However, there are some trends that are unique to education in Hawaii. It is important to understand the impact of these trends. The trends can have lasting impacts on both the school community and the community members of Maui. All 5 cultural trends impact schools within the complex area and the community of Maui. Trauma and informed practices and social emotional learning impact the relationships built among students, staff, and community members. When this trend is taught and utilized, everyone benefits because it creates relationships that are supportive, compassionate, and understanding of each individual's unique experiences. The trend of virtual learning impacts the complex area schools because it connects the schools easily to the district and state by providing technology and platforms that were not utilized previously. For example, virtual meeting platforms have greatly impacted the ability to collaborate with other islands. This impacts the community of Maui too. It has allowed for families and other community members to engage virtually with school communities. Inclusive education's trend has greatly impacted all students' ability to access their education with their peers. When inclusivity is a priority at schools, this trend can spill over into community settings. This can occur through advocacy by family members, students, and staff. Finally, the trend of Hawaiian language in school has a large impact in both the school systems and the community of Maui. The history of education across the islands was very negative toward Hawaiian culture and banned the Hawaiian language and other cultural norms. The inclusion of Hawaiian language in the school helps to build the Hawaiian culture back to the schools and strengthens the culture within the Maui community. All of these trends have a positive impact on both the schools in the complex area and the community. Recently, the term trauma-assumed practices was introduced to me. This term moved beyond trauma-informed practices in that all practices and teaching strategies should be supportive and compassionate to any individual, assuming they have experienced some sort of trauma in their past. Trauma-informed practices require individuals to know others' backgrounds, which provides limitations of effective teaching strategies. According to Maynard et al., in 2019, 1 out of every 4 children attending school has been exposed to a traumatic event, which can impact school performance, impair learning, and cause physical and emotional distress. With the prevalence of traumatic experiences for youth, it is necessary to implement trauma-assumed practices. There are many benefits of trauma-based practices, such as improved relationships, increased academic achievement and development of school-wide culture for all students and staff. There are some challenges to note, such as there's little research on the cost-benefit of implementation of trauma-informed practices. Additionally, according to Thomas et al. In 2019, there is no dominant or formally agreed upon framework for trauma-informed practices, which may make training teachers and staff more difficult. Despite these challenges, the potential change associated with this trend could be great. By providing trauma-assumed practices to all students and staff, it enables school environments to be supportive, welcoming, and compassionate to all, which can create great social significance. Social emotional learning ties directly to trauma-assumed and informed practices. This trend in education is critical to support students in a way that is most effective for all students to learn, and it is necessary for teachers to understand and know. According to Schnarr-Reichel in 2017, the benefits of social emotional learning are long-lasting, and the benefits include reduction of challenging behaviors, increased academic performance, and lifelong skills that students can take into adulthood and the workforce. The challenges associated with this trend is the simple fact that teaching is stressful, and as a result, there can be increased teacher attrition. This affects their abilities to have effective and ongoing training opportunities if there is a high rate of turnover. The potential change in social emotional learning trend has long-lasting effects that can help to improve outcomes for staff and students. Students become more likely to engage in higher education opportunities, find steady employment, and develop positive relationships in their adult lives. Again, the potential change associated with this trend is beneficial to both students and staff. The COVID-19 pandemic showcased certain education trends. One of those trends was virtual learning. While this type of learning existed before the pandemic, the need of using virtual learning opportunities greatly increased and changed the educational system for good. There are many benefits of virtual learning, which include the engagement of activities that allow for multimodal learning that can be easily differentiated. Additionally, like we saw during the COVID-19 pandemic, virtual learning allowed for continuous learning opportunities to occur. In addition, virtual learning platforms have greatly improved the access for families to engage in the school environment due to the capacity to engage in meetings virtually. The challenges of virtual learning can be great. Just like with the other trends, the training of teachers in virtual learning platforms can be time-consuming and costly. According to Saylor et al. In 2021, teachers' basic digital skills seem much more important for both the frequency of digital technology use during teaching and for fostering a variety of student learning activities involving digital technology. The additional cost of technology and the ability to upgrade that technology as it improves could be another challenge. Finally, the equity issues are large in regards to virtually learning, especially in remote locations across Hawaii. Some areas of the island do not have internet capabilities yet and can greatly impact the equity of virtual learning. Some of the potential changes of virtual learning have already occurred. The physical environment of classroom has increased the use of technology or eliminated the need for physical classrooms in some cases. Technology and computer skills are 21st century skills that are needed to increase opportunities for future careers. Finally, virtual learning allows for increased collaboration amongst teachers on all islands. Inclusive education has been a trend in education since 1975, when federal law mandated that children with disabilities be educated in their least restrictive environment or alongside peers without disabilities in general education classrooms to the maximum extent possible. Brock, 2018. The benefits of inclusive education are solid. All students have opportunities to be with peers, which improves social skills. Additionally, all students' academic achievement improves in inclusive settings. Again, Brock in 2018. The challenges of inclusive education have been consistent over the years. Recent staff shortages are a huge issue in effectively supporting all students in an inclusive setting. Unfortunately, the staff who work most often with students with disabilities are those with the least experience in education. The training of all staff is critical to make inclusive settings supportive to all students. Finally, there has been minimal progress towards more inclusive settings for students with disabilities over the years. The lack of consistent, inclusive education opportunities needs to improve. One of the Hawaii Department of Education's educational initiatives is to increase the number of students educated in inclusive settings. With this initiative, it provides opportunities for all staff to be fully supported and trained. Hawaii is the only state that has two official languages, both English and Hawaiian. The benefits are great for all students as it connects and supports local cultures and values. It provides deep connections with the local community and supports Hawaiian students' academic and behavioral success. According to Ka'ane 2020, children whose home culture conflicts with the culture in their schools may have difficulties functioning within the school setting. The challenges of incorporating Hawaiian language in schools continues to come down to the lack of resources, support, and training for teachers and staff. Additionally, there continues to be a limited number of individuals fluent in the Hawaiian language. Also, the state of Hawaii has consistently had high turnover of teachers. The potential of change associated with this trend is clearly needed in Hawaii. With the detrimental effects of colonization, educational situations can destabilize cultural perspectives, causing children to devalue their traditions and undermine their perspectives as learners. Again, Ka'ane 2020. By providing increased access to the Hawaiian language and culture, there are more opportunities for connections to be made within the school and wider community. Cultural trends in my workplace experiences in education have changed over the years. At times, you hear experienced teachers state that the new trends are just old trends repackaged and recirculated. While there may be some truth in the statement, some cultural trends are long-lasting and make large impacts. According to the American College of Education in 2021, all stakeholders can either sustain, improve, or disrupt organizational culture in our schools. I know I've experienced individuals who disrupt organizational culture in schools in negative ways. I hope I'm always one to either sustain or improve organizational culture based on new learning. My current workplace experience is very focused on trauma-assumed and informed practices. Understanding the importance of this trend, I have been a big advocate in sharing this information with others and leading by example by taking advantage of any professional training opportunities available. I am involved in a cohort of individuals learning new applied behavior analysis strategies that focuses on trauma-assumed practices. Cultural change can be made by small steps by any individual. Knowing that anyone can help make a change is powerful. Mahalo, and thank you for listening to my presentation. Here are a link of all of my references for your further learning.